What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Learn with Nurse Grace. So if you've just come across this channel or you're new to this channel, my name is Grace Ezekiah. I'm a registered nurse. If you're my subscriber, you've always been here to support me. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. And if you haven't subscribed and you're interested to know more about this channel, of which you talk about sexual reproduction and everything to do with our health, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that we can grow and you can get to learn more in this channel. Thank you so much, and let's get to the video. So if you're that person who has been wondering, why am I not getting pregnant? Is it because people are using this in this position? Because most of the people have been asking me, I've been trying this position and I'm still not getting pregnant. Do you know of a suitable position of which I can try in order to get pregnant? And I'm telling you, relax. I'm going to be releasing a video to explain on what are these best positions you can actually try, and within a snap of a finger you get pregnant. So if you're really interested to know of these kind of positions, please make sure that you watch this video until the end. And if you like it, please make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, share, comment there so that we can get to learn more. Thank you so much, and let's get to the video. So guys, I'll be telling you of these positions which has been evidence-based. It's from evidence that this has really happened, and from most people this has really happened to them. It has really worked. So before we get to this sex position, let's get to find out of how this pregnancy really comes about. So how this pregnancy really comes about. How, before you get to test positive, what happens? What really happens? So what happens is that after you have had sexual intercourse, where the male who has the semen, once he has already ejaculated into the vagina, then the sperms, which are the semen which is been ejaculated, has got millions or hundreds of sperms. So the sperms are going to be swimming very, very fast to go towards the egg so that they can fertilize it. And where is this egg? The egg comes from an ovary. The woman is usually born with all the eggs that is going to need towards her entire life. So it's just going to be shedding one egg at a time until the end. So she is born with all the eggs that she's going to be using throughout her life. So this egg is being normally released each and every month, one by one. But there are some circumstances that this egg can be released even 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, depending on whatever you're doing in order for those eggs to be released. I've just done a video on that on my previous video. So if you're interested, you can watch in my previous videos. Once this egg has been released, then this sperm has also been ejaculated into the vagina. It's going to swim its way to go get the egg so that it can fertilize it. So once this fertilization has already happened, so it's going to walk its way towards the endometrium, which is the inner lining of the uterus. Once it gets there, it's going to be implanted. Implantation meaning that it's going to adhere onto the uterus so that it can get all the nutrients or the oxygen, and that so that it can excrete anything like the carbon dioxide that it doesn't need. All the waste that the baby doesn't need, it goes through that area, and all the things that the baby needs like the oxygen and food, it comes through that area. So that's what we call implantation. So it has to be implanted in order for the baby to grow. Without implantation, it means that you are pregnant, yes, but it didn't get to implant, so you had a miscarriage. And that's why you find that there are those people who normally have a delayed menstrual period. So you might find that maybe you are pregnant, but it came out before it actually implanted. So that is basically what happens. And what happens for us, because other people have been asking on how do we know these fertile days, how do we know these exact days of which you're going to be trying. So I've also done a video of which there are some people that we have different days of our fertility depending on our menstrual cycle. So there's this normal menstrual cycle which runs from 21 to up to 35 days. So if you're within that area, then your menstrual cycle is okay. But if yours is less than 21, and for those who are above 35, then it means that your menstrual cycle is not that okay. And I'll also be doing a video on that. So as for today, I'll just be focusing on those who have a regular menstrual cycle. So normally ovulation happens 14 days before your actually menstrual period. So if you're the one who has 35 days, just subtract about 14 days, then you'll know the actual, it's just an estimation of when you are going to be having your ovulation. And if you get that ovulation day, for example, if you're 28 weeks, when we subtract 14 days, we get to find 14th day. So the 14th day is the expected day that you're going to be having ovulation. But I normally do this when it comes up to the 14th day. We just try to subtract 2 days and add 2 days, meaning that we can put them when you subtract 2 days from the 14th, we get 12. So it means that ovulation can happen anywhere between the 12th, the 13th, the 14th. And when we add 2 days, we get 16. So it means that ovulation can happen anywhere between 14, 15, and 16. And if we add and subtract both of them, we mean that ovulation can happen the 12th, either the 12th, the 13th, 14, 15, 16. So you see, it's 5 days for you to actually, like, you've got a long period. So you never know when this ovulation might happen. It might happen any time of the day and any day within those days. So it's better for you, if you're actively really trying, it's better for you to focus on these fertile days, or anywhere after we'll just say after you're done with your menses, then after that there's this period that you're very, very fertile. So it's better for you to actually do that, do the honors of really maximizing on these days in order for you to actually conceive. So what happens, for those who really don't know how to calculate, you can also try to monitor on your ovulation. And how do you do this? I've also done a video on science of ovulation, but I'll just be mentioning but a few. So those people who can monitor their temperature, if you're able to monitor your temperature, your basal body temperature, then it's very easy for you to identify when you're ovulating, because you'll find that to get the difference in temperature. If you're also that person who actually monitors your cervical mucus, you find that during your menstrual cycle, all through the first day towards the last day, your cervical mucus keeps on changing, and you'll find that especially during this ovulation day is when this cervical mucus is very mucary and very slippery. This is just because so that it helps the sperms to actually come in and to stick in, to go until they fertilize the egg. So another thing is that those people who actually also try to monitor their cervix, you find that during this period your cervix is a little bit open, and it's also very close to the vagina, so that it allows the sperm to come in and pass in through the cervix without any difficulties. So I'll just mention but a few, but there are lots of signs and symptoms about ovulation. So yeah, if you're really interested into that, you can watch it in my science and ovulation video. After this has happened, after you've assessed your ovulation day, so you can actually try to maximize on these fertile days, and together with your signs of ovulation, and try to focus on this day so that you can actually conceive if you really want to conceive. So there are these myths that some people have, that if you do this and this, then there's a high chance that the sperms are going to stick in and you're going to get pregnant. I just want to talk about these several myths that people have. So one of them is just like raising up your legs once you're done with the sexual intercourse, so that you can prevent the sperms from coming outside. So this is not going to help anything. So if once you're done, you can go ahead and do your normal activities without anything. And if you're supposed to be getting pregnant, then you'll definitely get pregnant. Like I said, it's very, very normal for some semen which has the sperm to come out after the sexual intercourse. It doesn't mean that once it has been ejaculated into your body, all of it must stay there in order for you to get pregnant. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's very normal for some of it to come outside. So you don't have to like put up your legs up on top of the wall to like try to push the sperms into your direct into your uterus in order for the fertilization to happen. So another practice that people do is trying to put their pillows underneath their hips to make sure that the sperms also go inside. Also, this doesn't work, and you can just go ahead and do your normal activities as usual. There are also those people whose diaphragm, they try to put this diaphragm into their vagina to prevent the semen from coming outside. As I've said earlier, it's very, very normal for a little bit of semen to come outside, and it just contains of some other the sperms that are very not good for the fertilization, or those that are very slow. They're not very healthy sperms. So it's very normal for it to just come outside and go outside and be disposed. So another thing that people do is also to try and they say that they want to stay in bed for quite some time. Although it's okay if you want to stay in bed, maybe about if it's your partner, you want to stay for cuddling and all the partner stuff. If you want to do that, then that's very perfect and that's normal, that's okay. But if you're staying there for the purpose of you being able to like conceive, then it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. So you can just stand up and go do your normal activities. If you want to go pee, if you want to go shower, you can stand up and do your normal activities without you losing any sperms. Because once the man has already ejaculated, these sperms, they're very, very fast and they swim very, very fast. So it's not, so the ones that are just gonna come out, there are those that are very slow and those that are not of good quality for it to fertilize the egg. That's why they come out. So it's very normal. Don't worry about that. So if you're that person who has been practicing this, then it's high time for you to stop it and try to focus on other important issues. On to the main point, of which, what are these best sex positions? So guys, there is no best sexual position to get you pregnant. There is absolutely no best sexual position to get you pregnant. Any sex position that will make you very comfortable, very relaxed, enable your partner to ejaculate close to the cervix, because when they ejaculate close to the cervix, then it means that they will try to shorten the distance of which the sperm will have to swim to get to the egg. So when that happens, then there's a good chance that you're going to get pregnant. You don't have to like do this and do this, but if you're open to try different sexual positions, because there are those people who say that they have to do this position, they have to do this position in order to conceive this and this. So if you're that person who likes to like try a lot of styles or try a lot of things, try to experiment a lot of things, then it's okay for you to do that, because during this time it should be a time that you try to enjoy making babies. You should actually enjoy making babies and let it not be a stressful moment for you to try and do this and maybe you're not comfortable, do another one, maybe you're not comfortable. So just try to do to take the position that you're very comfortable, because if you're stressed and if you've got lots of anxiety, then there are these hormones that are going to be produced in your body, the anxiety hormones and the stress hormones, which are going to make it difficult for you to actually conceive. So you have to make sure that you're very, very settled and very relaxed in order for you to conceive with ease. So there's no best position. Any position that makes you happy, go for it. So other people are also asking that, is it a must for you to have sexual intercourse multiple times a day, especially during these fertile days, in order for you to conceive? I'd say it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. You can have sex at least you can even skip up to one day if you're actively looking. You can even skip up to one day, but it's not necessarily that you have to do multiple, maybe 20 times a day. No, it's not even realistic. But if you can, then that's okay for you. It's not necessary. You can do even once a day. It's just enough, because there are millions over hundreds of sperms that are already inside you. So they're just waiting for this egg. And once the egg is there, and then they're going to be fertilized immediately. So you don't have to have multiple of sex or during that day or during this fertile period. But I would advise you skip at maximum of one day, in order, especially for those people who are actively looking. So other people are also asking, is orgasm, if you need to have orgasm in order for you to conceive? So I would say yes and no. No, it's not a requirement. Orgasm is not a requirement for you to conceive. It's not a requirement, but if you have orgasm, during this orgasm, then your uterus is going to contract. So when it's contracting, then it will help try to propel these sperms and help them move or swim very fast to get to the egg. And the earlier they get there, the earlier they get fertilized, the earlier everything is going to be very quick. And even if you test your pregnancy test, is going to be positive on the early moment. So it's not a must that you have orgasm during this period. So I would just like to tell you that it's better for you to focus on other things, like taking good diet, taking supplements if you're not taking any, and also try to make sure that you're practicing safe sex during this period of actively looking for a baby, and make sure that you do your exercising very well. And there's some habits like smoking and drinking. It's a no issue during this period. It's not advisable for you to smoke. Try to reduce and eventually try to quit, especially if you're trying to look for a baby. And for those people who are saying that exercising is not advisable, I'll tell you that please, if you can exercise, go ahead and exercise, because I've been having people saying that if you exercise when you're actively looking, then there's a possibility that you're going to have miscarriage, or it might not, like the fertilized egg might not implant. So there's nothing like that. Actually, exercising is very okay. It's very, very healthy, and it's going to prevent you against having diseases like obese, which might lead to conditions like diabetes, like hypertension. So the more you exercise, the better. So instead of just focusing on this sex position, we focus on the general parts, and in order for us to like be able to conceive with ease after we focus on every other thing apart from the sex position. So guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for stopping by. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and see you on my next video. Goodbye.